Morning folks, HistoryNerd here. Just a quick one for you, well not maybe so quick. But on this day, sadly, in 969, Princess Olga of Kiev died. Oh. Wait, who? Do you ask? Olga of Kiev. No, have you never heard of her? I'm surprised at that. Greatest act of revenge of all time? No? Well, let me regale you with a story then. Well, Olga was married to Igor, king of the Rus in Kiev. The Rus, Vikings, gave their name to what is now Russia. Russia. Yes, anyway. Igor had a fierce enemy, the Drevlians. Never heard of them? Oh, you'll find out why later on. Well, he went off to Drevlia to get tribute. Well, they didn't kind of want to give him any. So when he arrived at their capital, they killed him. Didn't want to do it anymore. Well, as you can imagine, this kind of upset Olga. Bless her, she was mortified. Well, after a while, Drevlians decided to send an envoy to Olga, asking for her hand in marriage, because they thought if they could marry into the Rus Vikings, they'd become a mighty empire. Well, Olga really wasn't keen on this after the fact that they murdered her husband. But she decided, you know what? Let's say send an envoy, arrive in a boat, and we'll carry you off for a great honour. Well, the Drevlians sent an envoy on their boat. As they arrived, the people turned up, picked them up, thinking it was going to be a great honour. Well, it kind of was and kind of wasn't. As when they arrived at her palace, they ditched them into a huge hole in the ground that they'd dug before and started burying them alive. Yes, great honour that one. Well, Olga stood there and watched. Well, before the Drevlians heard what actually happened to the first lot of envoys, Olga sent them a message and said, look, tell you what, send some of your best and brightest, your diplomats, your generals, and we'll discuss about potential marriage. The Drevlians thought this was a good idea, and sent all their best and brightest people. Maybe not the smartest move in the world, in all fairness. Well, when they arrived, Olga said, well, I'll tell you what, before we actually properly meet, all of you go to the bathhouse, have a real good clean, and then we'll have a proper sit-down discussion, meal, all that kind of good stuff. Just get yourself cleaned off first and see what happens. Well, all the Drevlian ambassadors and generals that lot went off to the bathhouse, started enjoying themselves, and then Olga had it locked and set on fire, and every single one was killed. Yeah, don't mess with Olga. After this, Olga sent a message to the Drevlians saying, you know what, I think I might think about marrying one of you if you go to the grave of my husband and take plenty of meat and mead, and we shall have a massive party there to honour his memory, and then I'll make a decision. Fair enough. They hadn't heard about the burying yet. Well, as Olga arrived and all these people turned up and they gave a ceremony at the grave and the tomb, it was beautiful. Then that night they started getting very, very drunk. Well, supposedly 4,000 people got drunk Drevlians at this party, at which point, when they're all drunk, Olga had them all executed. Yes, all 4,000 of them. Not pretty, no. So, after the massacre at the funeral, Olga invaded and set siege to every single town and city. Everyone gave up other than the capital, which held out for a year under siege conditions, and it was horrible. At which point, Olga sent them a message. Basically said, look, I'll give you peace, and I'll end the siege, end the war. All you have to do is every single house send me 3 pigeons and 3 sparrows, and you'll have peace, the war will be over. Well, the residents thought, that's a brilliant deal, just 6 birds for each household to end this war. Yeah, no problem, every single household done it. Send the birds out to her, thinking that was going to be it, peace brings to them. Well, what they didn't know is Olga was still very vindictive, and she tied sulphur to every single one of those birds. So, once the sulphur was tied to every single bird, the soldiers lit the sulphur on fire. And what do birds do? they go home. Yes. As the birds returned home, it set fire to the entire city. People burnt in their houses. The ones that did manage to leave the city and run for their lives, basically the men were killed and the women and children taken into slavery, thus ending the war, thus ending the siege, bringing peace, and the Drevlians disappeared from history. Shouldn't have messed with her husband, really. Unlucky.